Hello everyone! For this video it is going to be an episode review. I watched the episodes with a VPN on the Coro YouTube channel, C-O-R-O. Set the country to Japan, watch the episodes. I used Tunnel Bear for an example. Yeah, a lot of fun stuff to talk about. I really enjoyed the episode this week. Also, I thought it was funny that the bats at the start obviously had the hairstyle of Ranzo and Belle. So Ranzo and Belle are practicing basically. You know, Ranzo's going like crazy, and him and Belle are like clashing, and it's a double burst. And then after it's like, oh, well, is it really a double burst? Who burst first? And then after it's like, actually Ranzo won. And you get this like funny, expressive scene with Ranzo that I really liked. Yeah, animation and art have actually been top-notch in this episode, considering it's a very early episode too. Usually you don't see that. So obviously Belle is a bit bummed that he lost really bad. So Valt basically flies over and he wants to go challenge Belle. Hannah is really bored with them battling, I guess, and she's leaving. And then after Valt passes by her and he's like, hey wait, were you talking about a battle? I want a battle. And Hannah didn't recognize Valt for a second, so there's like this funny gag. And also, I like the smear frames when they're swiping the tablet. I thought that was actually really cool. So then after she sees that it's actually Valt, and Valt's like, hey, are you okay? And she freaks out, and you get this funny drawing of Valt. That's going in the thumbnail. That is actually hilarious. It's just so dumb. There's at least one episode where someone has to fanboy or fangirl over Valt. We at least need one episode per season. So, you know, afterwards it continues Hannah and Valt going over to Belle's place, and Belle drops in with a little robot, and Valt punches it as a joke, because it is like the Dynamite punch, and Valt punches it. And there's like, I guess, I don't know what that is, like flour or whatever, when it explodes. And Hannah is kind of like saying like, Belle, what are you doing? And you get this really funny, expressive scene, because it's like balloons or whatever. Hannah does a very, it's funny, like there's a lot of good comedic moments in this episode. Oh yeah, and she pops the robot or whatever that Belle was in. So then after, you know, Belle challenges Valt, and it's this big deal. Free is watching. So they're both going after each other. I do like how Brave Valkyrie looks a bit. It's a little bit more of a brighter blue. I think in the anime it's a little bit more of a darker blue, like in the previous season. It does look a little bit more polished, Brave. But basically, you know, they're going after each other. I think Valt does like rush shoot or whatever, and he's like pummeling Belial. And yeah, Valt just keeps on going at it, and he's beating him up. He actually evades his attacks so easily. And then after, Valkyrie's going after him, and we get the same power-up sequence as sparking, so that is repeated. Valkyrie goes after him, he's attacking, and then after Valkyrie does, of course, Brave Sword. And who do you think wins in the clash of Brave Sword? Valt. I think this is fine, mostly because I think Belle got too cocky with the match and didn't do Dynamite Bomber, which I think that's the title of next week's episode or whatever. So Valt's like, yatta, I won, or whatever. And yeah, next week is probably, now my prediction for next week is, because we already know we're getting Fafnir news next week, because it's going to be the middle of the month. I said this last time, this time 100%. So what I'm expecting is that next week it's either Valt wins, Belle wins, whatever. And near the end of the episode, Free is going to be heading over to where Belle is. And probably the following episode, we'll see the new Fafnir. Or maybe we see it in this episode, I don't know. Or maybe the episode preview or something. But yeah, the episode was really fun to watch. I think there's a lot of good comedic moments, which I thought was really funny. I think the animation and art was really solid. And yeah, I don't think so far there's been a bad episode of Dynamite Battle. I think people complained on the pacing, which I don't know where their head's at when they're watching this, or if they're what they're expecting. I prefer the pacing exactly like this. They're setting up everything perfectly. They're setting up Belle. They're setting up all these characters and actually developing them. I feel something that really really hurt with Sparking was that Hikaru and Hyuga did not get that much development, and it was all over the place. Having it like this, where it's clear and focused, like I think it's cool. Anyways, I do have a battle with Belial against Brave, and I think also Ragnarok against Brave, so make sure you check that out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Stay safe, have an amazing day.